All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Well, I got a burr under my saddle.
We talk, you listen.
Somebody that's going to take an innocent life is not mentally insane?
You know them.
Time to nut up or shut up.
You love to hate them.
It's the Denton and Sasquatch Show.
Can I bring my AR-15 next time?
Sure.
Yes.
This place is half talk show, half weird daycare. I love it.
You can't handle the truth.
Hello and welcome once again to the Denton and Sasquatch Show, coming to you from California and Alabama. My name is Sasquatch. I am the hairy beast from California. Then we got the Vapomatic King over there in Alabama. His name is Denton.
Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Yes, I vape. However, let's get through some things real quick. If you want to read what we have to say in prepperforums.net, go to prepperforums.net, where we're talking about everything from politics to religion to, oh my goodness, the world's coming to an end. And if you listen to us, you probably agree with us. If you want to contact us via email, you will do that via what?
DentonandSassShow@gmail.com.
I'm not even going to tell you about our website because I don't think either one of us have put anything on there for weeks. So never mind. We'll tell you about that when we start actually putting things on the website.
Way to pump it up, Denton.
We're lazy. Okay, that's all there is to say. First thing I want to point out is, have you ever heard of naturalnews.com?
I have.
And I have too. I've really enjoyed reading what's there.
Well, wait a second. Before you get into this, you and I are going to draw back the curtain for the listeners here. Before we hit record, you and I have a little chat about how the show's going to go, what order we're going to do stuff in.
And I clean forgot. And
not that long, and just a few minutes ago, you said, you're going to go first. So what do? We start, and you start into yours.
I'm sorry. I apologize. And as a matter of fact, look here. I guess I was trying to aggravate our content manager, Bill, and our quality control manager, Tim, by getting out of whack here. However, we're going to go right into...
Well, last week, if you listen to not last week's show, but the last show, I talked about my time as a radio DJ and kind of gave away a few hints and secrets about the industry, and I teased that this week I would talk about contests and requests on the radio and how they're fake. So I figured I'd hold my end of the bargain up and let you guys know a little bit about that.
Yes.
So if you hear a contest or a request on the radio, it is fake. The end.
Now, it is now? What?
I said the end.
Not good enough, because I used to make requests back in the 80s, actually 1980 or so.
Well, okay, back in the 80s it may not have been so bad, but more recent, you didn't take... Okay, if somebody made a request, if the song was already going to play, then you could say, oh, hey, Denton requested this song, or whatever the case may be. But if it's not on the list, you ain't playing it.
That's now.
That is now.
Okay, so if somebody calls in and says, I want to make a request, what happens?
Well,
and you hear their name.
and sometimes you'll even record the call and play it back so it sounds live. But what it is somebody will call up and they'll say, hey, I want to hear, the new Offspring song. Well, I know that song's in my set because I've looked at it before I started my shift. So I'll either record them or write down their name, and then when I play it, I'll say, hey, Denton from Alabama wanted to hear the new Offspring song, so here it is. But if they're like, oh, yeah, I want to hear Sweet Home Alabama, and I know we don't even play that on our station, I'll just say, I'll try to get to it as soon as I can and hang up on you. And you'll never hear it.
Okay.
So that's the way it works. If it was already going to be played, then I'll say it was your request, but it's not really a request because it was already going to be played.
Okay, well, that makes sense. No, how about the competitions? What do you call it? The giveaways, prizes?
Well, all right. Yeah, contests and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole pages and pages of FCC regulations, and I'm sure somewhere in there it says, in accordance with FCC regulations, you must do this and that for a contest, and it must be fair, and it must have both chance and something else, and I forget the rules. But anyway, usually like one of my stations, we usually took caller 10. So if it was concert tickets or something, yeah, I'll take caller 10 now for the concert tickets to go see Randy Travis. Well, I could give it to caller 10, but my program director has already told me that he wants excited people on the air, which everything gets recorded because nobody goes live on the air because you can't trust people. Mm-hmm. So you would pick up the phone and say, hey, it's gay rock or whatever. And if they were like, yeah, I'm calling for the tickets, you'd be like, sorry, dude, you're not 10, hang up. But if you picked up the phone and they were like, oh my God, did I get the tickets? Am I the winner? There you go. That's your person. And not only that, I mean, depending on the contest, like say, I don't know, it was Ozfest tickets and it's Ozfest 46. The program directors say, oh yeah, let's take the 46th caller. And I don't want to sit there and go through 46 calls. So I'd take like the third caller and say it was the 46th caller. So none of it was real.
Well, there you go, folks. Disunboxing. Nothing. Everything's rigged.
Pretty much.
Well, that's kind of sad. I mean, really, I hate the fact that we have even done this episode. Let's just stop recording. Well, I don't want to do tonight.
I hope I didn't crush anybody's dreams, but just kind of pulling the veil back, letting you guys see that some things aren't always as they seem.
Crap. Well, okay, everything I've got to say now is going to sound uplifting compared to what you just told us.
Well, I'm setting you up for success.
Well, great. Can I move on now?
Yes, you can.
Great, because I'm just freaking depressed now. Wonder why I never won. Yeah, I'm calling in. I'm my number 10. I really want to go to the ZZ Top concert.
This guy's a dotard. Nope.
Bite me. He hung up on me again. All right. Anyway, natural news. Now I'm freaking depressed. I don't even want to read this stuff. Anyway, bombshell. Apple demands natural news stop writing about abortions or Satanism. Threatens to block natural news app from all Apple devices.
You mean stop talking badly about abortion, right?
Right.
As long as you're pro-abortion, then you can talk about it all you want.
Oh, absolutely. If you got the new speak, you could talk forever. If you got the old, you got to die speak. Well, Anyway, in a new series of shocking demand emails containing screen captures showing lists of natural news articles, Apple has demanded natural news stop publishing articles critical of abortions or Satanism, threatening to block the natural news app from all Apple devices if Apple's demands are not met. Now, some of you may be for Satanism. You may be for abortion. Okay, this is America. You can be for whatever you want to be for, but these tech companies are telling people what they can and cannot say.
Well, it's censorship.
Now you're saying, well, they're companies. Yeah, well, yeah, it's censorship. And people say, well, they're companies, and it's not the government. They're companies, corporations. But the thing about it is, these corporations are left-leaning corporations. They are with the Democratic Party. So in essence, it's the corporations and the government, the left part of the government, telling us you can't talk unless you say the right things. That sounds like a violation.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was just going to say, it's like, I don't know, it just seems almost as though all of these media outlets are left-leaning. I mean, there's a few that are right, but it almost seems like they were put there because the government can't do this, so they put a corporation there that can do it, and then the government can say, oh, well, it's not the government, keeping people from free speech. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
yeah. But they're with them. We're not with them, so we have to shut up.
And so on the flip side, if a conservative type media group were to say, oh, well, you can't talk about pro-abortion or you can't talk about they would be all over you with lawsuits and all kinds of stuff. So,
well, that's pretty much theoretical, because how many big companies are with us?
Well, there really aren't any, since all the media company, what are there, like 5 companies that own everything?
Yeah, that's crazy. Now, moving on, let's go to the economic desk. A record 7 million Americans are 3 months behind on their car payments, a red flag for the economy.
I have not made a car payment in a year and a half.
A year and a half ago, you paid off your car.
Exactly.
That's very good.
Actually, you know, it was a long time ago I paid off my car, but yeah.
Did you ever miss a payment?
No, I always have mine automatically deducted. That just makes it easier.
I have missed. I've missed a couple of payments, and the reason why is I don't do that. And I'm also, as you know, I'm not very geeky, so I have in the past thought, okay, well, back when I bought my first car, you'd write them a check, and you had this little coupon book, and in the envelope you put your check in the coupon book or coupon for that month, and you send it off through the mail. Nowadays, of course, you can do it on the internet, which I think is pretty cool because I despise sending letters.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I think I do it. And then it turns out the next month I go to do it again. They say, well, you're behind. No, you little jackasses, I sent it to you last month, but I must have missed a button or something or another. And I'm thinking about doing the auto pay, but the reason why I don't do it is because I like being in control. Even if I'm inept and incompetent, I want to be in control.
Well, I just got a nifty little text today, like right before the show. It says, your storage unit is late. And I could have sworn that I paid my storage unit this month, but I didn't. I went back and looked through my my bank records, and apparently I spaced on it. But yeah, I paid it right away.
But to get 3 months behind on your car payment.
Well, I think that's just because people are taking on more than they can handle.
More than likely. Now, so we have these people out here, they get credit on a whim. Everybody wants somebody to come and buy the product and whatever. We're being set up for failure. Now, if enough Americans go bankrupt at one time, what's going to happen?
Recession, depression, all kinds of fun things.
Chaos, anarchy. People are going to be stampeded. Cattle are going to be raped. It's going to be a very bad thing. So look, people, if you can't afford it, sell it. If you can't afford it, if you can, don't do like me and miss payments because you're a moron. Learn how to use the internet thing. That's all I'm saying. Don't wreck our economy.
Well, our society today is so set up and so inundated with, oh, you can have everything. You can do everything. You know, anything you want is right at your fingertips. So people think that they're just entitled to it all.
It's the microwave generation. You know, they want it now.
Yep.
Next, Cory Booker is a moron.
Guilty.
Next, no. Cory Booker is a vegan.
This just in. Cory Booker is a moron. News at 11.
Cory Booker is a vegan, and he thinks you should too.
He thinks I should be a vegan?
Yes, you should be a vegan. I'm a vegan. You're a vegan. Wouldn't you like to be a vegan too?
All right. Well, Cory, I'm holding up a finger for you. I'll let you take a wild guess which one it is.
The progressive senator doesn't think veganism is just appropriate for his private life. He'd like everyone to embrace a diet because he believes the world can't keep providing enough beef and pork to satisfy meat cravings. I think it can.
Don't they have stuff in the stores that's not really meat, but they call it meat for vegans?
Yeah, and they can eat that all they want. He says, you see, the planet Earth moves towards what is the standard American diet. We've seen this massive increase in consumption of meat produced by the industrial animal agricultural industry. The tragic reality is that the planet simply can't sustain billions of people consuming industrially produced animal agriculture because of environmental impact. It's just not possible. As China, as Africa move toward consuming meat the way America does, because we just don't have enough land. Hey, Cory, you moron. Let me explain this to you a little bit. The industrial produced animal agriculture it's more space efficient. Okay, if you're Chinese, they've been eating pigs for a long time, Corey, a long time.
Mushu pork.
Yes. So now we have industrial type raising of these animals. It takes less room. You can actually feed more people with industrial produced animal agriculture. So, Corey, you're a moron. You are the moron of the week. Well, never mind. Alexandria Cortez always gets that. But you're runner-up.
You know what? Speaking of morons, Booker's running for president, right? Didn't he announce?
Yes, he's running for president.
Well, I got one too. Senator Kamala Harris. She is Hillary 2.0. I mean, it's widely known that Hillary likes to embellish the truth, I guess you would say. I mean, everybody's probably seen that clip of her on that talk show when they ask. She's on a talk show with it's a black talk show, and everybody knows that black people like spicy food. So they're asking her, oh, hey, do you take anything with you to put on your food at restaurants? And she's like, oh yes, I take hot sauce, and she pulls it right out of her purse, and it's like the most ungenuine thing I've ever seen in my life. But anyway,
because restaurants don't have Crystal hot sauce.
Yes, she's just pandering, basically. Well, Senator Kamala Harris is not going to be outdone by Hillary. Kamala Harris sat down with the Breakfast Club for an interview Monday where she confessed to smoking marijuana in college. And I inhaled, she said. When asked what kind of music she listened to when she was high, she replied, definitely Snoop, Tupac for sure. The only problem with that is that those two artists' albums debuted after she graduated from college. Tupac's first album came out in 1991. Snoop's came out in 1993. Kamala Harris graduated college in 1986.
I want to know the crap she was smoking.
And then she has the gall to write a new book called The Truths We Hold. In it, she writes, something else, it's past time we get done dismantling the failed war on drugs, starting with legalizing marijuana. So on the one hand, she says that legalizing marijuana is bad. On the other hand, she says, oh yeah, I used to smoke the doobies in college. As the New York Post points out, Kamala laughed at a reporter who asked about an opponent's support for pot legalization and refused to back putting the question before voters in a ballot measure during the run for re-election 4 years ago. So when she was trying to get re-elected, she was definitely against pot. But now that she's trying to get elected as president, she's all for it.
Well, I don't want the stuff she is smoking because it's way too strong. It propelled her into the future. Okay. I'm not against legalizing pot. I'm against legalizing her pot. She's a lunatic. Anyway, have you ever heard of this fellow named Beto O'Rourke?
Yeah, he sounds like a Bond villain.
Yes, he does, doesn't he?
Yes, Mr. Bond, I am Beto O'Rourke, and I will take over the world.
I want you to die.
Yes.
Well, Beto went down to El Paso, Texas, which is okay because he's a Texan. About the same day that President Trump went down there for a pro-wall rally, he went down there to have a anti-wall rally. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I saw a little bit something about it.
Well, he said, walls do not save lives. Walls end lives.
Really?
Yes. Okay. In the last 10 years, more than 4,000 children, women, and men have died trying to come to this country to work jobs that no one will take. Really? Well, I don't know about you, but I'm telling you, around here, I've talked to construction workers that say, Americans aren't doing these jobs now because these illegals come in and they're willing to work for cheap. And so what am I supposed to do?
Well, not only that, those illegals that died coming here didn't die from the wall. They didn't die trying to climb it, or the wall didn't fall on them. Most likely they died in the middle of a hot desert somewhere, or they were raped and killed by one of the illegals or coyotes that were bringing them here. So
exactly. So if they had a wall, and we had our laws changed to where, I put my pinky toe over the line, therefore you must take me. If that changed, these people wouldn't be coming up here. So stupid laws and lack of walls kill people. In other words, politicians kill people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but while he is doing this, while he's giving his little rally, guess what was separating him and the rally attendees? Take a guess.
They probably just had like a piece of string and a line that said, "Please do not cross."
Or they had a chain link fence.
Oh, you mean kind of like a wall?
Yes. It's sort of like a wall, but you can see through it really well, but law-abiding citizens can't get through it. So here this cat is, walls kill people, but chain link fences saved my life in case there's a Trump supporter out there.
Well, I also heard that Trump had about 35,000 people at his rally, and Beto had about 200.
Really? Well, I thought Beto said his rally was bigger than Trump's rally. You're telling me he lied?
Yeah, I believe he did.
Well, my goodness. A lying Democrat. Who would ever... Did I mention Ocasio-Cortez a minute ago?
Arriba.
That's the one. Do you remember when she had got elected and she goes, well, I just can't afford an apartment in D.C. I'm supposed to go to D.C., but I can't afford an apartment. Oh, what was me? Did you remember that?
Oh, yeah, I felt really bad for her. I sent her some money.
I did, too. I sent her a dollar. Pelosi dollar for the wall. I sent her $1. Here's your $1. Anyway, well, it turns out that she found an apartment.
Oh,
and
good,
I'm so
good for
happy.
her. Good for her.
Yeah, she's not living on the streets.
I'm guessing it's probably down an alley and around the corner. Probably has just a sink and a hot plate, right?
And she steps over feces getting to the front door.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Ocasio-Cortez is living in a luxury Navy Yard apartment building.
Really?
Really? This place, to live here, exceeds $2,000 a month.
Well, how exactly do you pay for that on a bartender salary?
Well, you don't, but she's no longer taking a bartender salary. She's now making $174,000 a year annual salary for being a lunatic social democrat in D.C.
Yeah, but she just got sworn in. Has she even got a check yet?
Well, yes, I'm sure she's got a check. I'm sure of that. The workers don't get the checks on time, but, these people do.
Well, of course.
Yeah, so she's going to be okay. I know everybody's been worrying about her and praying for her and hoping she's not sleeping on somebody's doorstep, but don't worry about it because she is okay. She's living in what is considered one of the most coolest places to live in D.C.
Well, she deserves it.
Yes, she does. She is something else. Okay, I've just gone through everything I pulled up.
Oh, well, then I've got something fun for you.
Good.
This should fire
fun.
This should fire you up really good.
That doesn't sound fun.
Which, of course, is one of my favorite things to do.
Sounds fun for you.
It is going to be fun for me. No, my parents watch my nephew because his mom and dad work, so they pick him up from school. But if I get off a little early or something, I'll go pick him up just because he gets excited when I pick him up. So the other day, I went to pick him up, and I noticed they had a big banner displayed on the front of the school that had their mission statement sort of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a picture of it. I'm going to read it to you here. Our vision is to provide a high-quality, technology-rich, and arts-infused 21st century learning community that empowers and inspires every student to be a confident global citizen and critical thinker.
Did Ocasio write that for them?
Probably. First thing I thought is, that's kind of wordy. But then I started thinking, I'm like, global citizen, where have I heard that before? Oh, I remember we did a show about it because I heard a commercial where they were talking about being a global citizen for some radio station. They wanted everybody to sign up to be global citizens. So I decided to look into what is a global citizen.
Well, what did you find?
Well, I found this entry on Wikipedia. It says, global citizen is the idea that all people have rights and civic responsibilities that come with being a member of the world, with whole world philosophies and sensibilities, rather than as a citizen of a particular nation or place. The idea is that one's identity transcends geography or political borders, and that responsibilities or rights are derived from membership in a broader class, humanity. This does not mean that such a person denounces or waives their nationality or other more local identities, but such identities are given second place to their membership in a global community. So,
well, that sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
Well, it is. Basically, for that to be true, you would have to give up every single right you have as an American citizen.
So somebody from pick another country can come here, just traipse across the border and say, I'm here because I'm a human being, and we will say, that's so cool. And then we will turn around and try to traipse across some other country's borders and say, I'm here because I'm a human, and we'll get our asses shot off.
Most likely. But this right here demonstrates why, when you're watching the news and two people are talking, conservatives, let's just say Trump and Pelosi. Trump will say, we want to build a wall to keep illegal immigrants out. Pelosi will say, oh, but immigrants, they're what make the world go round. They're what's special. You see the difference here? Trump uses illegal. Pelosi just calls them immigrants.
Well, yeah. Yeah. And we're not supposed to call them illegal immigrants. They're nothing more than migrants.
Well, according to this, no one is illegal because it's a global citizenship. You have free reign to go wherever you want, anytime you want. Well, anyway, I looked a little bit more into this because I was, I don't know, just curious about global citizen. I found this thing by the Global Citizens Initiative. It's pretty.
They've got a group.
Yeah. Well, they have a lot of groups. There's a lot of websites, and they're all pushing for this. And as you can see, it's already in our schools. I'm guessing other people have it with their kids at their schools. They're pushing this stuff on the kids. So in a few generations, because the kids have heard this so much, they're just going to think, oh, that's just what it is. That's just the way things are. But let me read some of this. There is an emerging world community to which we all belong. The growing interconnectedness among people, countries, and economies means that there is a global dimension to who we are. The most positive way of responding to this is by pursuing a path of global citizenship. Global citizens see ourselves as part of an emerging world community and are committed to helping build this community's values and practices. Now, here are 10 steps you can take if you are interested.
Oh, hold on.
Yes?
For crying out loud, I'm surprised I waited this long to interrupt you. Values. The word value. I heard the word values.
Mm-hmm.
What is a global value?
Oh.
Okay, I know what my values are, and I know they don't really go along with other people's values, especially people in countries where their values are 180 from my values. So how can you have a global group of anything when you don't share ethics, morals, and values?
Well, this is basically telling you these are the values you're going to have when you are a global citizen. So it doesn't matter what your values are. You're going to take their values.
Oh, okay. I missed it. Okay, it's making sense now. Okay, continue.
Well, here are 10 steps that you can take if you're interested in becoming a global citizen. See, now they're saying if you're interested, they're just offering it right now, but really what they want to do is force it on you and make everybody a global citizen. Step 1, recognize the global part of who you are. All of our lives have become globalized, whether through the internet, the way in which we're impacted by the global economy, or desire to provide humanitarian assistance to disaster victims in countries other than our own, or even our love for world art, music, and food and travel. We all have a part of us that is global. Examine your own life, recognize its global dimensions, and reflect on how that affects your views of the world.
I like German food, Oriental food, and Mexican food. I'm global, and that's as far as I'm going to get with globalism.
That's just racist.
Thank you.
Step number 2. I mean, this reads like a cult, like the rules of being in our cult. Step number 2, expand your definition of community. Because of the many ways in which countries and people are now interconnected, we are all part of an emerging world community. This doesn't mean that we have to give up being a member of other communities, our town, our country, our ethnicity. It means that we have another community, the world community, to which we now belong. Find ways to celebrate your connection to this community. Step number 3.
I eat Oriental food, German food, and Mexican food. I celebrate that.
And tea.
And tea.
You're going to like this. This may answer the question you're looking for. Step number 3, discover the values of the world community.
I don't care about their values.
Well,
I want to stick with my values and stay here.
Well, you're divisive and not tolerant, so you need to open up and have a new view.
No.
Discover the values of the world community. Every community needs to have values, and the world community is no exception to this rule. The values of the world community reflect the moral ideals that most of us believe in as the basis for human existence. For example, human rights, religious pluralism, participatory governance, protection of the environment, poverty reduction, sustainable economic growth, elimination of weapons of mass destruction, i.e. weapons period, prevention and cessation of conflict between countries, humanitarian assistance, and the preservation of the world's cultural diversity. Take stock in your beliefs in these values. Are you aware of ways in which the world as a whole is trying to live by them?
Okay. I enjoy the cultural difference between here and Germany, because Germany, they're very tidy people. When they clean their yard, they clean the yard, they clean the sidewalk, and they clean into the middle of the street, and the neighbor across the street does the same thing, and they have a little conversation right there. I think it's very cool. They're very clean as far as taking care of everything. I enjoy Japan. Japan is a very small island compared to how many people it's got, and they're very, very polite people, and I like politeness, okay? In Mexico, I like the fact that they have value in hot sauce, okay? Now, as far as the religious crap they're talking about there, take your, I want to be a homosexual, transsexual, I don't know what I am, to Saudi Arabia and see how far that goes. Be an atheist. Say, I don't believe in Allah in Saudi Arabia or Pakistan or whatever, and see how far that goes. Don't preach to me about religious tolerance, because you're full of crap.
Well, you're just not going to get into
Give me another one. This is fun.
You're not going to get into the Global Citizen Club with that attitude.
I really don't think I will. Give me the next one. This is fun.
Oh,
I'm into it now.
It gets better as it goes along. Step number 4, become aware of global policies and programs. Whether you realize it or not, all around you, policies and programs are being developed. Now, listen to how they wrote that. Whether you realize it or not, all around you, policies and programs are being developed to help govern our emerging world community.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Such
I'm going to go to city town hall thing, and I want to ask them about that.
Such policies range in scope from international treaties that ban the spread of nuclear weapons to administrative rules and regulations governing the internet. Learn about these policies and programs by subscribing to publications such as G-Citizen, the newsletter of the Global Citizens Initiative.
Yeah. Now, yes, we understand that there's international treaties about weapons of mass destruction or whatever. That's what our federal government is supposed to do. Fine. That doesn't make us global citizens at my level, number one. Number two, what's the other part there?
What part?
Well, never mind. I don't know.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we get to step number 5, which is totally going to throw Denton over the edge.
Number 4 just kind of wiped my brain out. I had something really pithy to say, and I've just lost it. So let's drive on.
All right.
But anyway, bullcrap's all I got to say.
Number 5, engage with the organizations that are trying to govern the world. As a global...
Whoa. Say that again, please.
Engage with the organizations that are trying to govern the world. Basically,
I would love to engage with them.
You need to back what we're saying is basically what that says.
Well, I thought I was looking at it from a firefight. Engage with them. Okay, fine.
As a global citizen, you should try and build awareness about the different organizations which are making the policy shaping our world community. These
CFR, Trilateralists. Yeah.
Wait. You're getting ahead of me here. These organizations include international agencies like the United Nations and the International Monetary Fund, legal tribunals like the World Court and the International Criminal Court, international professional associations like the International Federation of Accountants or the International Civil Aviation Organization, and transnational corporations like Starbucks and SmithKline Glaxo.
I really want to throw up now. I don't have a weapon that has that kind of range where I can reach out and touch any of those people.
Well, you're not for world tribunals?
No. Who's going to be in charge of those? It's like United Nations. United Nations is run by a bunch of morons. But I mean, the fact that some of the most brutal regimes are on the Human Rights Commission, what does that tell you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that doesn't sound like a group that I want to be a part of. It sounds like a group that I want to eliminate.
Well, they go on to step number 6, which tells you that you need to advocate. Participate in advocacy effort for global change. Sign petitions, join demonstrations, contribute funds, and explore other ways of advocating for global change. As global citizens, we need to join together to express the fact that people across the planet share common views when it comes to basic values such as human rights, environmental protection, and the banning of weapons of mass destruction. The Global Citizens Initiative is an organization that provides information and opportunities for global citizens to join together to advocate for change.
Okay, so I should do this. I should get some black slacks, a white shirt, and a bicycle, and go through the neighborhoods spreading the message, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no. In my neighborhood, in my community, in my state, I will be shot right off my bike. I'm not going to do that, no.
Well, and they're also... Now, step number 7, they're also trying to get Confederates or moles inside of our country to change people. Help ensure your country's foreign policy promotes global values. Global citizens are also citizens of the countries in which they were born and live. As such, we have the ability to influence the positions that our countries take on global issues. We need to help ensure that our country's foreign policies support building of equitable global solutions to world problems, solutions that work for all countries. So let your government know how you feel by supporting leaders who want their countries to become engaged with the world, not isolated from it. So basically support the Democrats.
Support MSNBC and CNN.
Yes.
Yeah, let's just bowl. Where are we at now?
Next, let's see, step 8, 9, and then we have 10. If you'd like to
let's go
finish them out.
Yes.
All right, number 8, participate in organizations working to build world community. There are all sorts of organizations making important contributions to our emerging world community: NGOs, Global Action Network, international professional associations, transnational corporations, and others. They work on a range of issues related to the values of our world community, ranging from human rights to world arts and culture. Pick one, anyone that relates to an issue in which you are interested, and get involved. Number 9, nurture a lifestyle that supports sustainable global development. It's kind of like what Cory Booker was talking about, right?
What?
Apparently, Cory Booker is a global citizen.
Well, I'm sure he is. No. I don't. No. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to eat what I want to eat. I'm going to live the way I want. If that's good for another country across the world, fine. If it's not my problem.
Well,
Next.
and if it's good for, Chuck that lives down the street, good for him, but it doesn't mean it has to be good for me.
That's right.
The environmental movement has taught us a great deal about how everyday lifestyles and behaviors can have an impact on the quality of life on our planet. The types of transportation we use, how we heat or cool our homes, the types of clothes we wear, and the food we eat all affect our quality of life. As global citizens, we need to adopt environmentally responsible behaviors in the ways we live.
This is going to be easy for me here. I'm a conservative.
Well,
there are times when I say, damn the electric company. I'm going to blaze my house in the wintertime and cool it down to ice cube level during the summertime. But I stay within my means. Okay, but typically I try to save money. In doing so, I save energy. I eat in a manner that I think is healthy for me. That means a lot of veggies and some meat. I don't gorge out on meat, but I want to eat meat. because I'm a human being. Okay? Now, that's good for me, and it's good for the environment. If you don't like that, if you want me to be a vegan like Cory Booker, you better put a gun to my head.
Really, the step number 9 is just a very short version of that the Green New Deal.
Yes. Yes, that sounds like that. What's her name? Ocasio-Cortez could embrace this bull crap.
Oh, I'm sure she's fully on board with this. All right, step number 10 is just kind of a stupid one. Support world art, music, and culture. Being a global citizen is also a celebration of the many different arts and cultures of our people. Take time to learn the ways in which different cultures give expression to the human spirit. So that just means inclusion and diversity and tolerance.
No, so bull crap. On Cinco de Mayo, I put on a daggum sombrero, I drink a Mexican beer, and guess what? I am told I'm cultural appropriating. What do you want from me? Okay, and Lucky Charms commercials are still on the TV set. They are making fun of my heritage. Okay, so you can pick on me, but you better not pick on the Frito Bandito. Bull crap. Look here. Let's boil this down. Yes, we have transnational corporations. There's not a problem with that. Companies should be out there making money. That's what companies are supposed to do. Okay? I live where I live, and I live according to my ethics, morals, and principles. Period. Okay? I will buy stuff from other countries. I will live my life the way I want to in my country, in my community, and I have no problem with people in other communities, in other countries, doing the same thing. That makes me a global citizen as far as I'm concerned. Now, you think you're going to just flood the borders? Bullcrap. You people need to learn laws of nations. Laws of nations, people say, well, it's immoral to have borders. Really? The laws of nations, which is really, really old, look it up, says that countries have the right to defend their borders. This is kind of like the laws of nature. Nature's God. This is so simplistic. It's mind-blowing that these morons don't understand it. But they do understand. They're trying to erase it. They want us to become nothing but global peasants.
Well,
now, you idiots out there, what? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I can break down. I mean, there's 9 of these steps here, but I could break this down to about one sentence. Open borders is coming, like it or not. That's basically what they're saying.
Mm-hmm. That's what it boils down to. Now, the reason why they're doing this is because they want to befuddle everybody in every country. They want that way they will be in control of everybody in every country.
Well, it's the globalists. It's the New World Order. It's all that stuff. I mean, people, it's conspiracy when people say that, but really, that's what they're trying to do. It's the globalists trying to run the world.
That's right. So, look here. Stop being stupid. Our listeners, I know they're not stupid. That's why they listen to us. But I wish our listeners would go out to the people who don't listen to us and wouldn't listen to us and say, just get in their face, say, stop being stupid.
Well, the scariest thing to me about this whole thing is you and I, we've seen this stuff before, and we know what they're trying to say, and we scoff at it. But because I found this at my nephew's school, they've inserted themselves in public education, and they are secretly pushing this agenda, and that to me is really scary.
Well, this reminds me a couple of decades ago when I was driving trucks. I remember Rush Limbaugh, because I was driving trucks, and of course I was listening to radio a lot. He said that we needed to keep some liberals around so we could make fun of them. And I remember talking back at the radio as I'm driving the truck saying, no, we don't need any liberals because it's a disease.
It's a mental illness.
Okay, well, yeah, but I never heard that, but I was thinking back then, it's a disease. And it's clear that he's wrong, I'm right, period. Because the liberals, it's like zombies. Somebody bit somebody and somebody else bit somebody. Everybody's been bitten. Too many of us have been bitten by a damned liberal.
Well, I just got a text from my global citizen master, and he's telling me that we're running along and we need to wrap it up.
Well, we better wrap it up because this is Wednesday and we're not supposed to wrap it up. But look here, it's obvious they're infecting our children, and nobody's doing it. So we are freaking doomed. So what do?
Grab the pitchforks and the fire. No, drink up.
Well, I like that, but we're too lazy. We're Americans, so we'll just drink up. So between now and then, y'all have a great week. I hope we don't die in between, and we'll see you then. Good night.
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. A man is born, he's a man of means. Then along come two, they got nothing but the genes. They got different strokes and takes, different strokes and takes, different strokes to move the world. Different strokes and takes, different strokes.